Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this episode. I am excited to drop in with you for a transmission all on a really important 7-year cycle we are opening that has a really big influence on the next 10 years, how they're going to unfold, how we're moving forward in birthing and midwifing the age of Aquarius, what's going to be happening in the collective that I want you to know about, key themes, and how it's impacting you, your soul mission, your business, your relationships, your health, like all the things. So I am really excited to share this episode on Chiron in Taurus. So right before I press record on this episode, I went on a really long forest walk, and right now I'm in a season of complete restoration. Like complete restoration of my physical vessel, of my just like spiritual, like inner landscape. It's hard to describe, but I'm basically in a cocoon of transformation before I spring into a lot of travel, really big things on the horizon, and really just taking a space to land deeper into my human body, to really be grounded, to really receive with Mother Earth. For me specifically, this has been really important because the last 3 years have been insane in terms of really uprooting my life and having a lot of sudden, shocking change, full-time travel, unexpected initiations, reroutes, detours, unexpected like blessings, all of the things, and things really accelerating at a rapid clip. Like I haven't had like my life up until 2023, and many of you are going to resonate with this. There's like key moments in our lives where just everything changes and you just go into a new era of living. And so up till that point, I had always been someone that I just had like a home, you know? And it's not that I haven't had homes. However, like I just had like I lived in Chicago for 10 years. I had a really beautiful condo there. Like I had a community and I traveled, but not like I do now. And then I've just been in this like global lifestyle the past 3 years. And I've really been specifically just received a lot of guidance and, you know, just that I've got to be this time is about total nourishment and grounding and receiving and healing in my physical body. And I went on this really long forest walk. I knew I was going to record this episode, and I just was feeling that it's a beautiful day. There's so many different textures and colors of the green. There's birds, there's hummingbirds, there's butterflies. I literally saw an owl fly in front of me during the day, which was like a really positive, amazing omen. Especially if you see them during the day. It's all about like truths coming to light, and the owl represents intuition, connection to the unseen realm, transformation. And I was just really enveloped in the magic of nature and the magic of Mother Earth. And this has always been a part of my life. It's always been part of my practice. Well, always in terms of like my whole life, with the exception of maybe like maybe like, yeah, about 10 years when, between undergrad and my master's, where I really was not actively and consciously connecting to the land. And then I went to Croatia in 2019 and I was in the sea and I said, I'll never be disconnected from nature and water and Mother Earth ever again. And I haven't been, no matter where I've lived. And it was just such a beautiful energy to experience and bring right into this podcast because this is the theme of Chiron in Taurus. So, in this episode, I'm going to talk about the context of what is Chiron in Taurus, what does it mean, the context in terms of the overarching like theme. If you study astrology with me, if you ever take any of my courses, if you ever do any of my channeled breath work, if you work with me one-on-one in New Earth Elite, every time we talk about energy, every time we talk about astrology, I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to burn it into your brain. You've got to be studying it forward and back. You've got to be looking historically. What are the patterns? What's been happening in this transit? Like, when is it coming again in the future? What are the clues I'm receiving? Like, we're always receiving information from the energy on what parts of our lives are being activated, what things tend to come up during this in our lives, in our personal life, in our business, in our relationships, like literally everything. And so I'm going to talk about context and I'm going to talk about what it means in Taurus, specifically what's going to be happening in the collective from now. So this is something that's opening from 2026 to 2034. Now everybody has been saying, okay, 2026 is the year of great change. Why is that? It's because literally there are like huge shifts in long-term, slow-moving planets that have been happening. We just had Uranus enter Gemini, and that's a whole new 7-year cycle, right? And now Chiron's entering Uranus, or Chiron's entering Taurus, which is where Uranus just was. And I'm going to get into what that all means. And then I'm just going to talk about some practical things that we can expect to see. Astrology is extremely, extremely literal in many ways. And just knowing this information, you have a key code into what is divine timing. Astrology is the sacred science studying divine timing of the universe. And then, if you are someone who doesn't just study, you embody, you train, you skill master, you master skill sets with these energies in divine timing, in alignment, in leverage. That's when you really start to make magic with creator, with the force, with the universe, with the stars, with the cosmos, all these things. And this is happening too right before the solstice in June of 2026. Now, this is a timeless episode. You're either going to listen to it in real time or sometime in the future, and there's always golden nuggets. If you can listen to it anytime from now till 2034 is going to be relevant. You can listen to it in 2040 and it'll be relevant because it'll be like, "Oh, what was happening in my life? How did these themes show up?" And then you get to reflect on it, right? So, the biggest thing I want to start with is just the overall context of basically Uranus has been in Taurus. Uranus is the planet of shock, upheaval, change, and revolution. I'm not going to go super into Uranus. I made an episode called Uranus in Gemini, and it was all about the the tornado that's hitting with that. And it's like the AI tornado, the tornado of rapid acceleration or rapid chaos. Like you get to choose which way you spin. I did a whole episode on that. There was a 7-year cycle that started in 2018. And I have a very personal relationship with all of these things that have been happening in Taurus because I'm a Taurus rising. Now, something we do in this work in this world is we teach, learn, I teach. We're learning about two types of astrology, right? Astrology that I'm talking about today, like, okay, Uranus was in Taurus, now it's in Gemini, and now Chiron's entering Taurus. This is all transits, and transits is just a movement of a planet through a certain sign or location, right? And that activates certain themes for literally everyone, right? So there's transit astrology, and that's the same as like, oh, the sun's in Gemini right now, so we're in Gemini season, or the moon's in Libra, so the like we have a full moon in Libra or something, which we don't have that right now. It's just an example. Um, there's that, the collective, which is what I'm going to be teaching on. And then we have our unique natal chart, which is your soul blueprint. It is what literally the portal that your soul chose. Your astrology chart is literally a map for how to self-actualize in this lifetime. So if you're not using it, you're literally going through life without the map, your soul map. So in my map, I'm a Taurus rising, right? That means that the most personal part of my chart is Taurus. It's connected to the cells of my body. So I personally have been with Uranus and Taurus in a 7 year cycle of shock, upheaval, change, and revolution. Sudden shock, sudden change. It's been insane. It's okay, 2018. I broke up with the guy I thought I would marry. I moved out. I won my dream job in classical music, quote unquote financial security for life. I walked away based on intuition. I went to Europe by myself, and that's when I went to Croatia and didn't know it at the time, but my spiritual gifts got reactivated in a whole new way. And just being in that water, it's like literally, I know I talk about this a lot on the podcast, but if you feel a call to go to a certain part of the world, if you feel a call to go to an event, like people have gotten way too complacent with, oh, I can just do it on Zoom. Oh, it's like there's a level of laziness there. And like, it's like if you feel a call to go somewhere, I'm going to tell you it's not going to be convenient. It's not going to be convenient, but you answer the call and it's going to be fun and it's going to be amazing and you're going to shift your identity. But there are things for you there on that land that your brain cannot comprehend. Like in 2019, when I went to Croatia, I was broke as fuck, you guys. I was so broke at the time. I had just gone through this breakup where I was paying two rents at once. I was like barely making it as an artist, as a classical musician in Chicago. And I went on credit cards. I went to Europe on my own. And it changed my life. Like, and all of that literally happened in like a year. All of that stuff that I just said. That was the beginning of Uranus and Taurus for me. So it was like, oh, you think you're this person? You think your life's going to go this way? Boom, no, boom, no, boom, no. Uranus is sudden, shocking change, right? So I just had 7 years of that. And I think that's why I'm in such a place of like restoration and nourishment and grounding because it's been like that. And then I started my first company and I built and scaled that. And I was like, okay, amazing. I did that. Oh, I'm actually going to move to Maui. Oh, I'm going to be a global nomad. Like all of these things. And so this is my personal just example of like when you look back on the overarching like timeline of 7 years, it's a significant chunk of time. And so the whole collective in 2018 to 2026 was in a shock, upheaval, change, and revolution cycle in Taurus as well. And so there's been a 7 year cycle of complete, utter, shocking change in Taurus. And now we're opening, think about it this way, in this one theme and this one part of this one like essence that impacted the whole collective, but then impacted you in a very specific way, like it was impacting a certain house for you in your natal chart. If you want to know how all of this stuff impacts you personally, let's work together one on one. I'm enrolling one on one Lux clients into mentorship right now. The link is in the show notes. Press pause, Go apply. So it impacts the whole collective and it's been impacting you in a specific way in Taurus. There's been an immense amount of extreme change there. And so now Chiron is coming into Taurus, and Chiron is the wounded healer archetype. Chiron is not a major planet, it's a minor planet, and it's connected to a centaur. It's connected to a myth and a legend. It's actually the son of Saturn, and it's all about the wounded healer. And it's about this person, this like entity, Chiron, was born with wounds that could never be healed. It's just like healing is I was saying to a client yesterday, healing is a circle. It's a circular process. And the way that I describe Chiron, we all have Chiron. Chiron is transiting the collective, and then we also have each of us have a natal Chiron in our birth chart, which again is your soul blueprint map for this lifetime. Um, there is it's Rumi said the wound is where the light enters. So there's a portal that is like a consistent wound that you come back to again and again and again, like cyclically. And it's where, when you transmute that, that's when the light can enter. It's where you make your pain your medicine. And so for me, my natal Chiron is in Leo. It's in the fourth house of home. Is it in the fourth house? Depending on the house system. So in the equal sign house system, I was just looking at my chart for those of you on video. In the equal sign house system, for me, it's in my third house of local community and groups. And so I have a wound, like it represents a past life wound or an early childhood wound. But for me, in Leo, it's all about being seen and leadership. And so I have had a like repeated wound about being seen in local community and then being rejected. So it's been something that's come up a lot because I'm a maverick. Like I being misunderstood, judged, all the things has been a part of my whole existence, my whole life because I'm not like most people, and if you are listening to this, you are not either. So, but that becomes my medicine, right? Because I'm like, I can lead from this place. I can speak on this. I can teach on this. I can help you step into your leadership because Leo's all about leadership, right? So Chiron is this like perpetual wound. And it's like when you keep making that pain your medicine, then you become a master teacher and you can share that medicine with the world, right? So it's a very alchemical process. It's extremely visceral. It's connected to early childhood and past lives. So it's a very, very, very tender. And so this we each have this personally, but then it gets activated in the collective. So it's like a very tender wound that is being activated in the collective. And so the past 7 years up to this point, it's been in Aries. Okay, so the wound of the collective that we've been called to alchemize and heal and address collectively has been connected to Aries, which is masculine. It is the masculine, it is war, anger, action, aggression. And so when Chiron comes through a sign in the zodiac, it is it is not like it's the wounded healer, right? It's not like, hey, let's look at the best parts of this expression. It's like we need to talk about the wounds here. It's like we got to alchemize these wounds. And so the past 7 years, there's been an intense concentration on the wounded masculine in the collective and also within each of us. Each of us has been asked to explore how the wounded masculine lives within each of us and how we have a war going on within us every single day, all day, because anything that's happening on the global stage is just a reflection of collective consciousness. So anything happening on the global stage is just something that's happening quietly between, like, in the corners of the hearts of individuals around the world, right? So unity consciousness is real, like we are one, and dehumanization is like it's not even real. Like even if you go down that road, you cannot separate yourself from the fact that we are one, right? So with Chiron entering Taurus, now we're entering a new 7 year cycle of complete rest. Like, and so there's been a lot of healing in the divine masculine, right? Wounds coming up to be healed, wounds coming up to be healed, right? And so now we're in this like Chiron, when worked with intentionally, and Chiron is not something you're going to go to a mindset coach about. Okay. Chiron is alchemical, it's visceral, it's in the cells of your body, it's in your DNA, it's in your subconscious mind. You are not going to journal your way out of Chiron. You're not going to talk therapy your way through Chiron, especially Chiron and Taurus, because these are deep alchemical perpetual wounds. And so now, however, when worked with correctly, it becomes a healing balm. Remember, it becomes the medicine. And so it's really amazing, actually, that we just had 7 years of shock, upheaval, change, and revolution in Taurus. And I'm going to get to what the key themes of Taurus are. Now we have Chiron coming in right after, and Chiron's like, okay, let's talk about the wounds here and let's heal those wounds and let's put balm on these wounds, right? And it's not balm that you go buy in the grocery store that's not organic for like $5, right? That literally represents everything that we've got to heal with Chiron and Taurus. Let's just run with that example, right? Wounds that are going to come up to be healed with Chiron and Taurus, this balm is going to pour healing elixir from the earth elemental because Taurus is fixed earth. Taurus is literally the sign that is most connected to Mother Earth. It is fixed earth. Taurus rules the body. Taurus rules the five earthly senses. So it's also like very fitting that I just recorded the wealth and water elemental podcast about the quadrants, the four quadrants of New Earth Elite: healthy, wealthy, happy, and free. I just did the second one on wealthy and I talked about water money, right? Taurus is earth money. Okay. Taurus is wealth. Like, think about Queen of Pentacles if you're familiar with the tarot. And depending on where you are, because most people that come into my world, you either come from an extreme high performance background where like the spiritual and the mystical is like deeply outside your comfort zone, or you come from the mystical spiritual realm and you've got to, daddy up and like build some shit, you know? So either way, it doesn't matter. You're here and that's amazing. And this work is about the marriage and the divine union of both, which is what's been missing this whole time. That's why New Earth Elite is not the best. It is the only space where this frequency exists. Taurus, it rules the five earthly senses and it rules the body. So, and it rules Mother Earth. So, there is a lot that we are going to be called and exposed in healing. Like the same areas of life that have been going, like, think about it, the food system is ruled by Taurus. A lot of shock and upheaval and change with the food system. A lot of shocking change in the financial systems, right? That's connected to Taurus. The five earthly senses. Okay, Uranus and Taurus was all of COVID-19, y'all. Yeah, the way we live in our bodies got rocked. We also experienced like, what is it like when we all just like are forced to stay home and Mother Nature like regenerates herself? Like, we saw, wow, like we have really been abusing her. And so it really is, Chiron in Taurus is a 7 year healing alchemical homecoming that is going to come by way of pain, that is going to come by way of being exposed to the wounds of in the collective. There's a part in your personal chart that's been basically disrupted for 7 years that now is going to be called for this deep level of alchemical healing in Taurus Mother Earth frequencies. Um, and so it's like it's pretty beautiful because otherwise, Uranus and Taurus just came and like tore shit up. And it's like, okay, moving on. Now Uranus and Gemini, which is gonna tear shit up like way even more, like quicker, like more insane. Um, and it's like you can tear shit up in an amazing way, and you can also tear shit up in a really destructive way. Like you can deliberately destabilize yourself for greatness. That's like a doctor that's like, okay, this arm is broken, but it's broken really, really jagged. So actually, the best thing to do is to re-break it so it can grow back clean. That's what Uranus like will do. And also like Chiron is the healer. So Uranus and Taurus followed by Chiron and Taurus is such a gift from the creator and the stars and source because it's like, okay, we literally like talk about earth shattering. Uranus in Taurus since 2018 was earth shattering, right? Literally fucking shattered so much in our 3D earthly reality. What are the five senses? Taste, touch, sight, smell, hearing. And then the sixth sense is just your intuition, but it's like dropping into your body. Something that's going to come up during Chiron and Taurus is like healing the wound of how much you disassociate, healing the wounds around extractive wealth and capitalism. And capitalism is actually like the solution to a lot on our planet, but it's not the kind where you extract, it's the kind where you bless everyone with prosperity, right? So it's just a total healing balm rooted in Mother Earth and rooting in your body and the five earthly senses. And wealth. Taurus is connected to the divine feminine, Queen of Pentacles, right? Empress in the tarot. It's fertility, it's creativity, it's the fertility and the abundance of Mother Earth. It really is this return to Mother Earth and something we get to come back to again and again and again. Why is it called New Earth? Why is it called New Earth Elite? Because it is in deep, reverent co-creation with our home planet. Yo, Mother Earth doesn't need us, we need her. She can just make us extinct in like 2 seconds if she wants. Why do you think all this intense weather's happening? I mean, we could get into a whole I put my tin hat on. We can talk about all that. I think a lot of it's changed with Mother Earth. I think that and I know just from intuitively as a shaman, a lot of it's manufactured by dark forces. Um, but this is what we're doing for the next 7 years, all the way till 2034. It's very physical, it's very practical. So, no matter who you are, what you do, what your mission is, what your business is, the state of your health, like your physical health in your body, like anything that you haven't dealt with that is going to come up during Chiron and Taurus. Because it's like, what are the perpetual wounds in the physical body that are meant to be healed? So a lot of is going to come up on the quote unquote healthcare system, which is actually the sick care system that profits off us being sick, right? There's going to be a return to like deep healing of what it means to live and eat from the land, right? Because Taurus rules food. So with that example I gave, it's like, no, you're not going to go to the store and buy $5 like cheapest thing that's like manufactured from, poisons. and put it on your body to heal. No, this is back to herbalism. This is back to the ancient codes. This is back to like just one example. Like I'm working really, really deeply. I mentioned it briefly in my last episode, but I've been working really deeply in this like restoration phase with a Chinese medicine doctor, with an acupuncturist, with my own energy healer, with my coach, which and if you've ever wondered why I never shut up about coaching and mentorship, first of all, I'm obsessed with it. It's my business, it's my company, it's my soul mission. Obviously, I'm going to sell. Obviously, I'm going to promote. Obviously, I'm going to call in all the souls I'm meant to serve as we unleash a better world together. But I believe in mentorship and coaching and support and healing, like literally hands down. It might be like one of my number one like values in life. Like since age 4, I have had high proximity one-on-one mentorship in literally everything I've done because it literally makes no sense to not get help from people that can help you get there faster, that are smarter than you, that have expertise that you don't have. Like, why would you waste? Like, I was just studying this book I just got about Elon Musk, which I might do a whole episode on Elon. And whatever you think about Elon, Elon is one of the greatest inventors of our time. He represents the age of Aquarius. He represents innovation and audacity and extreme thought leadership that we must learn from if we're going to birth new paradigms. So I was reading like something that he says, all he's like literally the only currency is time. Like it doesn't matter if you waste money, it doesn't matter if you waste like all of these other things. He's just like we can there's always more money. Time is the thing you don't get back, right? And so I can't remember where I was going with that. Oh dang. um oh, with the mentorship. It's like why would I waste my precious time being a beginner and tinkering around and making a bunch of mistakes that I don't need to make when I can just hire someone who's a mentor that can that or a healer or somebody that can help me that knows more than me, right? And it's not about outsourcing your power. It's about surrounding yourself with like amazing experts and advisors and people who are in their zone of genius. Like this is really what New Earth is about is like you've got to narrow into your zone of genius. Like jack of all trades shit is dead. You've got a niche. Jack of all trades means you never had the courage to choose your true soul mission. Woo! I'm going to say that again. Being a jack of all trades, first of all, guarantees mediocrity. Second of all, it means you never had the courage to follow your soul mission. And you never had the courage to niche down into your zone of genius, aka your destiny. And so Chiron and Taurus is this next 7 year cycle where it's all about the physical realm and the body. And it's like back to this herbalism. The example I'm going to give my Chinese medicine doctor in LA, like literally to work with the correct person. I was going to LA for other reasons too, but I knew where I was currently in the country. I was not going to get in the Midwest. I was not going to get a Chinese medicine doctor that worked from the ancient codes, that had the lineage, that had the ancient skill mastery. Like everyone was like somebody white that had been trained in the US. And I was like, that is not the ancient codes of the Chinese medicine that I want. I don't want it to be tampered with. I don't want it to be colonized. I want to receive the real medicine. And so what so yeah, I went to LA and every time I was in LA, okay, great. I would have multiple appointments. She has this healing tea. And it's like it literally she she puts all of these herbs together based on so many things unique to me. And it's like I pour these herbs into a mug, and you can't even stir it with metal because if you put metal in it, it alters the like the purity of the herbs. You've got to stir it with wooden chopsticks, which is just, it's so Chiron and Taurus right now because Chiron is the healer, right? And it's all from Mother Earth. It's literally like I've looked in it. It's like I've seen like pieces of twigs and they're like, honestly, I don't speak or read Chinese. I know what some of it is, but most of it's in Chinese. And it's like, I don't need to know because my intuition says yes. And it's from Mother Earth and acupuncture that I've been getting. And it's like leveraging the healing power of your body. Like the breath work that I facilitate, holotropic breath work, cosmic cellular breath work, my invented modality, not this like quick hit surface level, like, oh, I'm going to do box breathing and that's going to like regulate my nervous system. No, any kind of quick hit energy, any kind of things you've been cutting corners with, honestly, Ozempic, peptides, like, it's not from Mother Earth. There's going to be a lot of wounds exposed about how much people have been poisoning themselves and the collective under the guise of quote unquote healing, when it's actually poisoning through food, through the what do I want to say? Big pharma. Um, it's happening all over the world. It's extreme in the US. So this is what we're going to experience the next 7 years. And if you want to learn more about Taurus energy just from me, I do have a masterclass and a breathwork journey. It's called Taurus Torque, Torque. It's the power that comes from Taurus energy because Taurus is the bull. It's all about strength. It's about stability. Unhealed, it's stubborn. Unhealed, stays in a rut. But Taurus is literally a mountain. Like you cannot change it. And it's like this deep healing power we're going to have with Mother Earth and all of these realms, and also with money and finances. And it's like creating abundance from the earth that actually lasts, that doesn't hurt anyone, and that is sustainable, you know? So I could do like a 2 hour episode on this. I'm not going to do that. If you want to literally start today with me learning about Taurus, I would go do Taurus Torque breathwork. You can go to the masterclasses page on my website and purchase it there and a la carte. It's 222 and you get lifetime access to it. It's amazing. I would highly recommend pairing it with Intro to Reading Your Natal Chart so you can learn how to read your own chart and discover what part of life is being activated for you. If you want to go deep with me one on one in mentorship, if you are the person who's like, okay, yes, I'm all in, like maybe you're feeling this specific message, or like, I need to know how this astrology is impacting me, impacting my business. If you don't know how this is impacting your business, your cash flow is going to be negatively affected the next 7 years. There's a huge opportunity cost for not knowing how astrology is affecting your business. Like for real. It's always been like that. Is going to be more heightened with Chiron and Taurus because there's been immense shocking change the past 7 years, but now it's like a concentrated 7 year cycle of like, let's rip off of the band-aid on all the wounds. Okay. So if you're not operating from the ancient codes and you don't know how this is impacting you and your life, you're going to be behind the eight ball. Okay. You're going to experience unnecessary pain and challenge for real. Um, let's work together. Hire me. Let's go deep in one-on-one Lux. So also with like the body, all of this alchemical breath work, shamanic healing, getting on the correct land, Mother Earth, like all of that we do deep and work together one on one. So I'm enrolling new one on one clients right now. and you can go to the link in the show notes and apply if this is you, if you feel called. There are extremely limited spots because I only work with a few people at a time in really deep, high proximity concierge premium mentorship. So this is creme de la creme category of one. You can apply for long-term mentorship. I'm also doing two in-person one-on-one Lux VIP days in France in July 2026. So if you are interested in this, if you want to hop on a plane, meet me, go deep into, oh my gosh, an entire day of luxury activation in your soul mission. We're going to do a breathwork journey. We're going to go to sacred sites. We're going to just have the time of our lives, and you get to just be pampered and activated into the next iteration of your identity and destiny by way of adventure and fun and travel. Go to the link in the show notes. You're going to apply. I have a general application for all one-on-one, and you're just going to note on your application, like, hey, I want to do the VIP day in France in July. And when I get your application, I will be in touch. So that's how you can go deeper with me in New Earth Elite right now. This transit is starting on June 19th. We're going to have a brief dip back into Chiron and Aries from September to April 2027. It'll be the last hurrah for that. We can expect kind of an explosive exposure in terms of divine masculine wounds. And then we'll be locked into Chiron and Taurus all the way till 2034. So that is what's going on. And may this message serve you and every single life you touch for the highest timeline and good of all. Yeah. New Earth Elite is the fleet of souls who are taking this wisdom and running with it to birth new paradigms. This is where you become not the 1%. You're already the 1%. You become the 1% of the 1%. You are a dialed Olympic level spiritual endurance athlete for the light. That's what we're doing in this work together. So if you feel that call, apply to work with me one on one. You can hop in Taurus to work literally right now and start right now on demand. Go out there, be the change, be the light, be the real you, make a stranger smile. And I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrienne.